Oh my god, there's tears in my eyes. I yawned. Just give me a second. Alright, let's restart.
Just go
I
for
hate you. There's still tears in my eyes. Welcome to the Skies Over Stony Brook Newsbreak. I'm your host, Spencer Flash. It is the week of December the 13th. Chris, we just got through the whole intro without being interrupted.
No, we didn't.
What do you mean?
You just interrupted yourself.
This week's episode, we're going to talk about one of my favorite things about Stony Brook, campus dining. That wasn't true. Whether or not you go to Stony Brook, you may be aware that the food here is really bad. It's just really bad. Everything about campus dining, it's bad. I'd like to start by talking about before you get your food. The company in charge of distributing food at Stony Brook is called Sodexo, which is French for Société d'Exploitation Hôtelière, which means Society for Hotel Services. Which first of all raises a couple questions right there. Why is it called Hotel Services? Second of all, the word exploitation is definitely in there, which concerns me for a couple more reasons, but we're going to breeze over that because we got a lot to talk about. So Sodexo is a French company, which first of all raises some flags because you can never trust the French. Sodexo serves many sectors including private corporations, government agencies, schools from elementary through university, hospitals and clinics, assisted living facilities, military bases, and correctional facilities. So if anybody says we're eating prison food, you're kind of right. This is interesting. It's a breakdown of their revenues by region. 37% of their income comes from continental Europe, 38% comes from North America, 8% comes from hell itself, and 17% the rest of the world. They actually cater to Satan's own realm. It's an interesting fact. The first issue with campus dining food is obtaining the food, which, this is a huge step backwards. Actually finding a place that is open that will feed you is often a huge problem. Over breaks, they often have every single dining hall except the SAC completely closed 24/7, and the SAC itself is only open a few hours a day. Apparently Stony Brook decides that people on break don't need to eat, so why keep anything open? The next question, money. Why is food so fucking expensive here? Why does it cost me so much money? Why is it $9 for a wrap? Why does it cost me $8 to get a couple chicken wings at the SAC? Where is all this money going? Who's making money off of this? And besides the fact that the really shitty food is completely, criminally overpriced, is the fact that on top of that, everyone living on campus is forced to buy a meal plan, which, if you go to a school that has a buffet style where you have certain swipes, that kind of makes sense. But this is an a la carte school, which means that if you want, for example, a slice of pizza, then you pay for that slice of pizza, which is about, what, $3.79 for a slice of cheese pizza? Which, first of all, amounts to like a $30 pie. Are they milling gold into this flour or something? The way it works is you buy a meal plan, which gives you points, which you then use to buy the food. Points are the same as dollars, except you can only spend them here. Which, it's like a gift card to Stony Brook campus dining. Which in essence just doesn't make any sense. No, there is a perk though. You don't have to pay the sales tax on the food, which is really small and inconsequential. And just in case you thought you might be saving any money by getting a dining meal plan, you have to pay $600 cover charge just to get a meal plan. That's $600 per semester. Now, of course, this begs the question, where does this money go? It's obviously not going to the food, because the food is already criminally overpriced. So some of the places it goes include the mortgage of the buildings, which you think should be covered by some other fee that you're charging to the school. But instead, they force everyone living on campus to buy a meal plan and pay this $600 everything fee that can go wherever they want it to. It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. God. Another cool, interesting little thing that Stony Brook does is called bonus points. The way that bonus points work is that when you run out of real meal points that you bought from them as this convoluted gift card system, then they give you these free bonus points, which is equal to 5% of the actual meal plan that you purchased for them. So your actual meal points for every semester can roll over to next semester if you have some remaining, but bonus points do not. If this rule system sounds convoluted and frustrating, like you're trying to figure out how to play fucking Monopoly, first of all, how do you play Monopoly? I still don't understand how to play Monopoly. If this sounds that frustrating to you, that's right, because it is that weird and that confusing. It doesn't make any sense. Why would they give you these bonus points? And where's the money coming from to pay for the bonus points? Is that coming from our $600? Is it coming from the fact that a sandwich is $10? Who knows where anything is coming from or going to in this Byzantine system that we have constructed that we call campus dining. Our next topic, we'd like to talk about before you get the food preparation. The food here is kind of really gross. It's really gross. There is an actual Facebook group dedicated to chronicling how gross and sad the food here is, called SBU Food Complaints and / Improvements. I think they just put that in there to be safe. There's plenty of examples here of people finding actual bugs in their food. There are a lot of examples. If you scroll through this, you can see here's an image with someone with a fly. No, I'm sorry, that is a mosquito in their melon, which serves as a great metaphor for the blood-sucking tendencies of our school system. This appears to be a spider in someone's grape, with the caption, "I'm surprised they didn't charge me extra for the protein." God, I don't even know what this is. Is that supposed to be a chicken tender? That looks like someone was in a horrible accident or something. I'd also like to talk about the eggs. As someone who actually owns chickens, I'm used to some pretty okay eggs. Keyword here is okay. Not fantastic, not wonderful or excellent, but okay. But the eggs here come from a carton, which raises a lot of questions. Why are eggs ever in a carton? Eggs should not be in a carton. Like a milk carton, not an egg carton. That should be clear. Why do the eggs come from a milk carton? What made them like this? The eggs come in this mushy, spongy consistency with this juices running all along them. I feel like I'm actually eating a kitchen sponge. Then the bottom of the eggs is covered in this firm crust, much like eating a kitchen sponge. You know, the scrubby part? Yeah. I don't know what happens to the eggs to make them like this. I've cooked a lot of eggs before, and I'm a very, very bad cook. Yet never once, I have lit things on fire, but I have never once ended up with spongy, crispy sponge eggs. Another question is late night. Late night is a special campus dining mode activated when you've beaten daytime mode. I'm sorry. At about 10:30 at the Union, you can get food at an incredibly discounted price, which, why can't they sell that during the daytime? Is food cheaper at night? I don't know. I'm not an economics major. I don't understand supply and demand, but I'm frustrated. But the things you can actually get there are heavily restricted. For example, on your burritos, you can't put guacamole. Which, first of all, what's a burrito without guacamole? It's like Looney Tunes without Speedy Gonzales. Also, this is kind of a new development. No longer can you get chicken tenders at there without fries. In order to buy chicken tenders, you have to pay $1.39 for a plate of fries with a single tiny chicken tender laid on top. like the Lord of the Fries. Hey Chris,
Yes.
why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know.
To get to the other side. The side of fries, that is. Which of course raises the question, excuse me, why can't I just buy chicken tenders without the french fries? To which they respond, I'm sorry, we don't know. Which, I don't know who's forcing the hand here. What kind of insidious force is coming in here and saying, oh, I'm sorry, you guys can't sell chicken tenders anymore. But the worst part here is that they don't know. They don't know who told them this. I don't know where the orders are coming from. But I'm starting to think that Sodexo it's not actually run by anything. But the employees just make shit up as they go along and then agree to all go with it. It's like a night of improv. But instead, they decide what food you can and cannot eat and what price you're paying for it. It's like, whose line is it anyway? Except the meal points are made up. Next, I'd like to talk about the for real machine. What the f is up with those things? It's like, they're so out of place. It's like literal aliens came down from this planet and it's like, yo, can we keep this here? And Sodexo was like, sure, honestly, at this point, we don't give a f. Nobody gives a f. I don't even have the words to describe how these things work. Just watch this.
Okay, cool.
I literally just watched an alien abduction. I just selected something out of this rack of clones, like it's some sort of fucking horror special, which is then unserted and then summoned up to the mothership, where alchemy transfuses this little brick of sugar into now a slushy of sugar, which I had to pay an actual arm and leg for. I actually had to give one of my legs for a for real machine, and it's been replaced by prosthetics, which, thanks to the aliens, have advanced to the point where it actually appears that I have normal legs. Like these. Also, water's 19 cents. Thank you. If you personally are disgusted by the food at Stony Brook, like any good human would be, here we have some alternatives. You can starve to death, which at first sounds a little extreme, but when you see actual insects in your food, starving to death might seem like a pretty cool idea. Number 2, smuggle in your food and store it here on campus. As we've already shown you on the Skies Over Stony Brook Newsbreak, the basement of Langmuir has plenty of unused, creepy-ass fucking rooms. If you designate one as your personal hoard, you could stockpile all sorts of food there, much like a squirrel preparing for the winter. And because Stony Brook decides they don't have to fucking feed you over winter break, that would be a perfect time to break out your stash. If you live in a non-cooking building, that means that your building, which has hundreds of people in it, has to all share one tiny little kitchen. And now, we'd like to show you Langmuir's kitchen. Welcome to the Langmuir Kitchen. Here we can see it's an absolute state of shit. There are about 23 sponges here, some pots filled with macaroni, it's really classy, some leeks, appears to be some food here.
Can you stop touching my food?
That's all for Langmuir's Kitchen. I'm sorry. And of course, if none of these options suit you, then you're just going to have to make your own food. Hi, and welcome to Cooking with Spencer. Here we are in the Langmuir basement, and I've got an amazing recipe prepared for you today. Alright, so today we're going to be making eggs a la SAC. And I hope you're ready. So the first ingredient to get that spongy consistency is Jet Puff marshmallows. I always buy Kraft because they're cheap. Like campus dining. So here, first you want to add in some marshmallows. Make sure they're good. Gotta make sure they're really good. Okay. Here at Stony Brook, cleanliness is very important. So make sure you're always wearing a hairnet if you're a cashier. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Cashiers have to wear hairnets. But the cooks don't have to wear hairnets. How do you know that, Spencer? You've never been back in the kitchen. I know because there's always hair in my food. But I added some Fanta Yellow for that color. Tastes like pineapples. This contains no juice. So if you're allergic to juice, Stony Brook cares. So if you hear that sizzling, that's the marshmallow dissolving in the acid. We try to give students a lot of acid in their foods to make sure that they can really... I'm sorry, I got too much Fanta in there. I'm gonna grab this soap really quick. Okay, so now we're gonna try to there we go. We gotta mush up the marshmallows to get that sponginess, kind of spongy feeling. Gotta really mush them down there. Otherwise, it's just gonna taste like marshmallows. And you're not gonna get that unique sort of egginess that you come to expect from the SAC. You gotta be very brisk with beating. Okay. Okay, as you can see, I made a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll clean this up later. Actually, I'm gonna grab some. Oh man, oh, this is bad. There appear to be no paper towels, so we're gonna have to just keep going. At this point, it's always a good time to spice things up a little bit. We brought a tiny bit of sugar, so we're gonna try to put one packet in. Really, only half a packet's all you need, and then I don't want to put a lot of sugars, so we're just gonna use half packets from now on. Half of that one, half of that one. All right. Now I got about 26 more of these, but for the sake of time, we're gonna skip that part. So make sure to beat it again. Really beat it thoroughly. Chris, you see my cocoa powder anywhere? Oh, here we go. Cocoa powder is a very important ingredient. If you don't get it, it's not going to taste like eggs if you don't put all the cocoa powder in. Alright, we are almost done. So earlier we preheated the oven, didn't we? God damn it, Chris. I'm sorry guys, we didn't preheat the oven. I don't know, we'll figure this out. Anyway, so for our last ingredient, we'll put in this half sponge to really get that cakiness on the bottom. All right, so we'll put it in here, and just cut the video here, and we'll. God damn it! All right, well, the 3.5 hours are up, so I think it's time to see what we made. Before I open this, if there's any smoke, don't panic. I cook a lot, and it's usually on fire, which is why I always keep my handy-dandy fire extinguisher very close at hand. All right, ready? Wow, look at that. Wow, these are some excellent eggs a la SAC. You can see the sponginess here. Very spongy, and look at the cakey bottom and the juices. My God, the juices! You can just hear the excellence. Wow, this is. I'd like to try some of this. Hey, Vic, would you like to try my eggs?
No.
Okay. Oh God! God! Oh! Why did I put that in my mouth? Well. Anyways. Another really interesting fact is that the nacho cheese here is actually brought in these massive blocks, which is then melted down to this semi-gelatinous state so that it can be scooped onto your food and actually ingested. So, what's really interesting here is the way that they obtain these nacho cheese blocks. They go up to the Arctic Circle, to the Great Cheese Sea, and then mine it out using ancient Norse techniques, much like is shown in the opening of the Disney movie Frozen. And finally, we're going to talk about after your food. If you thought the food at Stony Brook was pretty bad going in, you can only imagine how bad it is coming back out again. You can read countless testimonials on, let's say, Yik Yak, of anonymous sources talking about the intestinal difficulties they've had after eating Stony Brook campus food, which is pretty bad, which might account to the fact that the Langmuir toilet is gone. On today's episode of What the Fuck Happened Here, I'll bring you to the C1 Langmuir bathroom. I'd like to start with this door. There's actual screws laying around. I don't know. It's just gone. It was here one day, and then the next day there was just shattered porcelain all over the floor and pipes sticking out of the wall. And now it's just gone. The whole thing is gone. It was ripped out of the wall. There was nothing wrong with it. It was working the day before, and then someone stole the toilet. The Langmuir C1 toilet is actually just gone. It was literally there one day, and then just removed the next day. My only hypothesis is that it was taken by free aliens for use in their sick, twisted experiments. Maybe ground-up toilet is actually part of the milkshakes, which is really not that far-fetched an idea, if you've had a real milkshake. So in summary, a lot of people are really mad about campus dining, because it costs a lot of money, it's really shitty, you have to pay for weird stuff, and put up with all sorts of shit. Like not being fed at the right time, and just sometimes not getting fed at all. And of course, we gotta pay for shit we don't use, and we gotta, what else do we have to do? We have to deal with all sorts of fucking shit from the workers, and then we get tiny portion sizes, we pay a lot of money, and why is there masking tape on the fucking desk? Who knows? Chris, you want to go to the union?
Right now?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of hungry.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, let's go.
Thanks for tuning in this week, and thanks for tuning in all semester. And I just want to say that you guys really make this worth doing. And I love you so much, and I just want us to be together, and I feel like So anyway, we'll be back next semester, next February, with some more episodes of Skies Over Stony Brook Newsbreak. In the meantime, keep watching the old episodes and try to find the secret episodes. That's right, we're gonna put in secret episodes. I feel at peace now. And who the fuck tiled this? It's just arbitrarily white tiles.